Okay, welcome back to Phone Lookout. Thanks for looking out for our videos, and if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Today we have with ourselves an interesting situation. This is an LG G3. Now, I think G2 actually. Now, this phone is a bit funny in that when you power it on, it brings a pixelated screen. Those white rice looking things reminiscent of the old cathode ray TVs of the analog generation. I think a lot of you will be able to identify with it. Now, just to give you a clue of how it's behaving, let me attempt to power it on. So these ones have the power buttons at the back, actually power and volume buttons too. So press the power button, which is the middle one, and now you notice that rice like stuff. So it's just simply pixelated, and I do not get any sort of image on this screen. Now in today's repair, I hope to solve this. I think now is the point at which I will say thank you to all who have already subscribed, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. You never know which video would be of service to you, and perhaps to also feed your curiosity. I mean, knowledge is not criminal, and the more you have, the better. So let's dive right in. So I think this video will also serve to show you how to open this phone. So you could think of it also as a mini tear down video. I think before I proceed to open, let me just mention a few things around and on the phone that you may need to know. So first of all, that is the front facing camera, and then that blue looking thing, that's the proximity sensor, and this is what detects that you've brought the phone next to your ear and will turn off the screen should you be making a call. Now just to the left or right of, actually to the right of the proximity sensor, there is your earpiece speaker. So if you have trouble being heard, that's it. I found something a lot weird lately, where when people have decided to use the phone in hands-free, they try to speak into this. No, this is simply for listening. The mouthpiece is down this side, that's where the microphone is located. Still down the bottom of the phone, you have the vents for the audio speakers. That's the multimedia speakers, or call it the loudspeaker. The earphone jack. These phones still have the 3.5mm earphone jack. Now at the back, as mentioned prior, is your buttons. That's the volume down button, that's the power button in the middle. Volume up, of course, your rear or main camera lens is right there, and with the flashlight to the right of the phone. So right now, let's go right into the phone. So I think I'll take also some opportunity while inside the phone to take you around. Let me just look around the cover. There must be a notch somewhere. Yeah, around here. So get in between there with your fingernail and lift it upwards. Okay. Okay, now it's a bit hard to pry using the fingernail, so I will employ the services of a surgical blade. And there's something to note at this point that you should always remember to do before you attempt to get into these phones. Now this phone uses a SIM card tray to deliver the SIM card onto the motherboard, so you will have to poke it open to remove the SIM card tray. Just a moment, let me get my pin. Thank you. Yeah, so I use this pin. This is actually a super glue pin. It's a bit pointed, but you'll bear with me. Now reach into that hole right there. I don't know whether you see it. I'm trying to bring it into focus, but just believe me. So put it in and push down, so the SIM card tray will pop out. I think this is a no-brainer. A lot of you already have dealt with the SIM cards that you have to insert by the tray, so I don't think it's a hard thing doing. So now that the SIM card tray has gotten out of place, I will get in between and pry around. Yeah, it's really hard plastic. At some point you may think you are actually breaking it, but do not be afraid. Those snapping sounds are quite normal. Right there, it's just that it's held down by a lock and key mechanism, so it sort of snaps into place, and therefore you'll have to snap it out of place. Yeah, isn't it poetic? Now, having moved around it all around, that lifts up, and this is our phone's body. Now the theory is that okay, so what might I have to mention here? Simply the white thing is the battery. I think that's all that I can say at this point, but I will open further and move you around, showing you one or two components that perhaps you may want to fix sometime in the future. That said, let's not forget that what we are attempting to solve with this repair is this problem where the screen is pixelated. You find grain-like stuff on the screen. That's right there. Now, in principle or theoretically, I am suspecting that I will have to reflow this motherboard, and specifically the main system on chip, or perhaps the location of the GPU. And to do that, of course, I have to get the motherboard out, and let's proceed with opening. There's a screw here, so screw number one. This part of the repair is a bit mundane, and I don't think any of you does not know how they remove screws, but you could stay with me if you wish, or you could forward until the point where we are done opening the phone. Second screw is out. So from the looks of it, this phone has been opened before, or perhaps worked on before. That's why I find far lesser screws compared to the holes that are on the body of the phone. So whoever opened it never returned all the screws. But anyway, I like the fact that when he placed the few that he placed back, he distributed them quite well to the most critical places. And for some time, so now that we have removed all the screws, okay, the next thing is to lift up the lower plastic, get in between there, and lift that out of place. So this is the module that is housing the loudspeaker. So if you need to change the loudspeaker, you may need to get this module. It communicates, and the contact points that send signals into the loudspeaker are there. So this is if you need to change the loudspeaker. And there you have your charging port. I do not know what they were doing here, but I also wonder why this was unplugged. Every time I see these unplugged things, I wonder. So let me first plug in this unplugged thing and see what effect it has on our situation. Okay, not much. We still have that pixelated issue. So right now, having removed that lower piece of plastic, I think, to make mention. That's the earphone jack. It's mounted on this lower subboard, and that's the charging port. That's what you'll change if your charging port is damaged. And I believe this is the microphone, and onto it is this coaxial cable, and those are usually for network signals. Okay, so if you're having issues with networks after the phone was open, chances are those cables were not plugged back into place. So the next thing is we are going to remove the topmost plastic too, and that also gets out of place. Now the top plastic doesn't have much on it really, it's just a piece of plastic, unlike the lower plastic that has a loudspeaker embedded in it. And okay, let me just put that aside. Hope that didn't distract you. Put it there. Now this is it. So I have found this always interesting. There's this ribbon that comes from the top side and to the side. It always intrigues me the way it comes out. Okay, but that brings signals to the lower subboard. That's what makes the G2 tear down or opening a bit exciting. But now that we are there, let me also take you around the parts that are under the topmost plastic. That right there is your vibrator, and that is the let me actually get it for you out of it. That's the main camera lens, the one you would call the rear camera. Okay, it's just a moment. Okay, it goes right under there like that. So that's the main camera module. Okay, main camera module. But since the phone is powered on, I don't want it on as I'm opening the phone, so I'm going to unplug the battery connector. The battery connector is right there, and of course this white thing is the battery. But let me first disconnect it from circuit, and then I can proceed. So now we have removed the main camera module. We've showed the vibrator. That's the earpiece speaker where you hear the sound of the other caller from, and this is the LED for the infrared. Right there, infrared bulb. I think you see it right there. And then this is the front facing camera module. It plugs in from there. If you may need to change that, that's what you would have to remove. And then now this plugs into here. Get in between with your fingernails, snap it out of place. Now this fiber going to the touch, I will unplug it also right there like that. And then there's this other fiber going down that side. I will plug it, unplug it also. Now if you notice, this is the combination of volume, power, volume down. Now that one plugs in from here. So should that die and you need to swap out the power button or volume button, you will unplug this. But actually we have also a video on an LG G4 where the power button was becoming very hard to press, or it takes a hard press for it to respond. I think the video is somewhere there. I will put it right there at the corner. You can click on that in case your volume or power buttons hard to respond, of this type, the LG. Now that said, we now want to pick apart this entire phone and get the motherboard out. So right now this has been lifted up, but it is glued onto the board here. So that's where I need the services of warm air. So air gun put to 120, and then I'll warm this such that the adhesive under is weakened. Okay, that gets out. Then down to the next. Okay, get right there. That also lifts. Now, like I told you earlier on, this is the volume button module, but I want the button volume up, power, and volume down button, so you would unglue that and change that if you also had those. Now these come backwards like this. It's a very interesting and curious case, the G2. Now there's some sort of lock mechanism there that restrains the fiber. This normally settles under there, and so to get it out of place you push it a bit backwards and it comes out, and also on this side you push it a bit backwards and then it comes out. Now I'm going to unplug the coaxial cable. Okay, that one comes out, and that one too should be able to come out. Surprisingly firm. So that's out. And what am I interested in? I'm actually interested in the main board, but I had gotten taken up, feeling like I should change that for you. So now for the main board, now that we have disconnected this and that, we are going to get that out of place, and this should lift out cleanly, and that's our motherboard. For a moment now I feel I should have left these fibers connected to the lower board, but it's well. So right now you see here Hynix. These guys normally make memory chips, so if it is Hynix, that's most likely the storage. And now I have to look for the CPU and reflow it. Since this usually keeps on deflecting, I will either reflow it from this side or down this side. Now, out of curiosity, I'm going to unseal this such that I'll see what's underneath. Now that plate lifts off, but be careful to not knock off any components near it. Okay. I see Toshiba. So which is the CPU, that one or this one? But then again, out of curiosity, I'll also open behind this side and check. Okay, so this is out of place. Is that liquid? No, it's not. I see that thing. I thought it was liquid, but it's not. It's glue. So now, so anyway, I think this is the CPU actually. So I'm going to reflow that IC. May to return this one now that I Was it here? Okay, this is for that side. So I'm going to place this back such that the heat is mostly targeted. I feel this will help me shield other components from the heat. So now that's that. So I'll bring my hot air can. Let me take this out of place and raise this a bit. Move this to the side and bring our board. So first I'm going to warm the entire motherboard at 120 degrees for about 2 minutes, and then gradually raise it up to 250 in a space of 3 minutes, then move it to 260 for 5 seconds and then drop it. Okay, 2 minutes have elapsed. Now moving it to 150 for 30 seconds. One 75, another 30 seconds. Now 200, another 30 seconds. One 125, another 30 seconds. 250, another 30 seconds. Oh, by the way, when I mentioned the degrees, they are in degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So either degrees Celsius / centigrade, not Fahrenheit. Okay, now 275 for 5 seconds. Then now start dropping it back to 250 for 10 seconds. Then down to 225 for 10 seconds. Then again down to 200 for 10 seconds. Now I'm just dropping the temperature. I have very rich peak that I need, so I'm gradually cooling down the pulse. 175, 10 seconds. $150, 10 seconds. Now I will wait for it to cool further and then resume from there. Let me save some recording space by pausing. Okay, now that it has cooled down enough, let me plug in and then test. So I won't show you how I'm plugging in. I need to conserve some time. Let me pause some space in the storage. Let me pause. No, I've sort of unpaused. I realized I have to place this plate back, but I'm again going to pause you. Okay, so I have plugged back the motherboard, so I'm going to hit the power button and see what this throws at us. I'm positive. Am I pressing it? So I had paused it. I noticed I hadn't squeezed this in, and that is what helps send the display signals. So I was hitting the power button, getting the indicator light, but not even the pixelated things. So I'm just going to plug that right in, right there, and then plug in the battery, ensure that is firm, and that. So now hit the power button, which is the middle one, and voila. Yeah. But thanks for watching Phone Lookout. Please subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and this goes a long way to saying thank you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section there, and if you like the video, click on the like or thumbs up icon, and please do subscribe. Oh, by the way, so just to do a recap, so this phone, the LG G2, would power on and produce pixels, like power rice-like things, black and white, like almost how the analog black and white TVs used to do that when there's no signal. So what I decided to do with it is to open this app and then reflow the GPU or the CPU or the system on chip IC, and I reflow it, if that's the past tense of reflow. I reflow it actually reflowed it. I reflowed it using hot air, up to a temperature of about 275 degrees C, gradually increasing it, and then when I reached the peak, kept it there for only 5 seconds and then dropped it down. And then powering up the phone, nice and neat, we have everything. So that is because that usually happens because this power button and its location, normally when you press it hard and it has hardened, when you press it hard and it has hardened, it deflects the board, it sprains it. So right now I'm just going to close the phone. I'll pause the video and just come in a moment to close. So now I have put the topmost plastic, now the bottom plastic, then I'm going to place in the screws. Now that we have closed the phone, now it's time to power on. And thank you for watching Phone Lookout. Look out for all our videos, and if you haven't just subscribed, do subscribe, like, comment, and do share. Thank you. See you next time. Phone Lookout, keeping your phones alive.